Gale's going to try and take the inbound pass.
Magic, the runner. Kicks it off the glass. Lakers win.
Welcome back to Homecoming. I'm Rick Riley. We're at Jennison Fieldhouse on the campus of Michigan State University. Well, the 80s really belong to you guys. 5 rings over those years. You signed the biggest contract in sports history, 25 years, $25 million. Early in the '82 season, it all kind of started falling apart, though. You had Paul Westhead as your coach.
Right.
He slowed it down. The players didn't like it. And Jerry Buss fired Westhead, but the public believed that you were behind it.
Right.
So let's ask Jerry. Jerry, why'd you fire Paul Westhead?
Well, we were very, very successful using a particular offense. And when Paul decided to change it, I didn't see any purpose in that. When he refused to do that, I thought, well, basically, he has to go. I want to continue with the old offense.
What'd that episode teach you, getting booed like that?
Well, it was a tough time because everybody wants to get cheered. Nobody wants to get booed, but I stood up for my teammates because I was the leader of the team. The offense was not working. We go from a running team that averaged almost 120 points and win the championships. The next year, he wants to slow the game down and give the ball to Kareem and let him shoot 20 to 25 times. That was not a winning formula for our team. It's unfortunate what happened, but Dr. Buss made the right decision because right after that decision, we ended up winning the championship that same year. We went back to Showtime basketball, great defense, and get it up the court, looking for whoever had the first shot, and we were dominant at that time.
Right,
so,
you had a guy on that team, though. He became a 5-time NBA champion, one of the great defensive lockdown players of all time. And let's introduce him, Michael Cooper, and ask you a question, Cooper. So, the guy that took over for Westhead was Pat Riley. Why did his system work?
Well, other than the 10 pounds of real cream he had in his hair, I mean, he was a pretty good coach. I think what Coach Riley did is he put Magic back in charge. And again, the thing about it is that we wanted to get up and down the floor and utilize what we had on our team. Kareem was a true back-to-the-basket center, but he was a mobile center, could get up and down the floor. So bringing us to a standstill or a half-court game was not beneficial to us.
Yeah, so with Riley, Coop, you, all these guys, it really became showtime at the Forum. Every star in Hollywood came out. Was there one star you met that blew you away?
Jack Nicholson blew me away. Muhammad Ali blew me away. And then Michael Jackson blew me away. And the greatest thing about Michael Jackson was the guy could dance. I mean, we would sit there and he would rehearse for hours, just his moves. And it just blew me away. Actually, his intense rehearsals made me work harder as a basketball player. And the last thing was when he called me over to be in a video. And I was like, okay, you want me to come over to your house, Michael Jackson, your house? He said, yeah. So I got to the house and I pre-ordered my meal. So I pre-ordered, you know, some grilled chicken. I'm trying to be, you know, not good, you know, because I'm thinking he's gonna be a good eater. So when my food came, you know, the guy pulled off the lid, it was a grilled chicken. The butler comes out and brings him a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I said, Michael, wait a minute. You eat Kentucky Fried Chicken? And he said, yeah, I love it. And I told the butler to take my meal back. I went down there with him.
Got some, okay.
And got some of that chicken. So that was one of my great moments of my life, having fun and being in his video as well.
So 2 years later, you go to the finals against the Celtics. The Lakers had never beaten the Celtics in a final. You go up against Larry Bird. It doesn't go well. You lose in Game 7. Yeah. You had to watch the Celtics fans celebrate right beneath your window in the hotel. How did that change you?
It made me, first of all, I was responsible for us losing that series. I prided myself in being one of the best at closing out games, at being executing in the tough moments and the most important time of the game, especially as the point guard. I turned it over, made some mental mistakes. It cost us the series. And then to see them celebrate outside our window, it just made me so upset. So I didn't go outside that whole summer. All I did was stay in the gym because I wanted to get back at the Celtics.
Doing what in the gym?
Just playing, just shooting, just dribbling, just going back to the basics. So God really blessed us because the next year in '85, we got a chance to play them again in the finals, and we ended up beating them in Boston. And it was a great moment for the Lakers to finally beat the Celtics, but also beat them on their home court.
Speaking of Larry, in that offseason, you did something people didn't do then. You went to Indiana at his place and filmed a Converse commercial. You didn't like him much, but it was the start of a 25-year friendship. What changed between you guys while you were shooting that ad?
Well, first I hated him. I didn't like him much.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get to it. You know, you can't like the Celtics and play against them.
All right.
You have to have a distaste and a dislike for them, and we did. So I get there, they have a trailer for me. I'm sitting in my trailer, and they say, okay, come on out. We want to discuss the commercial. So I walk out, I stood over here, and Larry way over there. So, because we don't shake hands. We don't, you know.
Don't even shake hands.
No, that's Larry Bird, you know. So the producer is explaining the commercial. Now, he's way over here, I'm way over here. And so he's telling us what we should do. And he's looking strange because we're not coming toward each other to say hi. So he's figuring that this is maybe not going to work, right? So finally we got the commercial going, and it was going good, and it was lunchtime. So I'm going to my trailer. You know, I'm thinking I got my food there, he's gonna go to the house. And Larry said, no, you coming to the house. We get up there, and the first thing his mother does is come and hugs me and give me a big kiss.
Really?
Oh man, I just melted, you know. And it reminded me of my own mom. We sat down, Rick, and we started talking as men now. And it was the most unbelievable experience I've ever had with Larry. We didn't talk about basketball. We talked about how we grew up, and we grew up the same way, poor, you know, big families and so on. And we just got into just talking, and before you knew it, when we went back to the set, you couldn't shut us up.
You like the guy?
No, I love him. I don't like him. He's a great man, great person, and I love his family as well. Larry is my man. I mean, when you think about a friend, that's a true friend.
So just when Magic Johnson's life couldn't get any better, it suddenly couldn't get any worse. When we come back on Homecoming.
I can remember the first time I laid eyes on Magic Johnson. We played on an all-star team back in college. I could not believe what I was seeing in practice. Well, after this 1979, the NCAA tournament, my brother came up to me, he says, yeah, he's a lot better than you.
Larry, you just what a basketball player should be. We're gonna meet up again. Now we can play checkers. We better probably play pig, because horse is a little too long for both of us.